When I first learned to knit, I decided to try my hand at knitting lace. It felt so intimidating. I was so nervous that I'd drop a stitch and not have a clue as to how to pick it up and fix my work. That fear held me back until I discovered the most miraculous technique that solved that problem, eliminated that fear, and made lace knitting an absolute delight. I'm going to be showing you that amazing technique as well as a gorgeous lace knit shawl design. Hello, beautiful soul, it's Shandy, and I cannot wait another second to show you today's scrumptious pattern. It's called Camarodonta, and it is a beautiful circular pie shawl designed by Janica Carter, and it is gobsmackingly beautiful. Camarodonta is an order of sea urchin, and the swirling, spiraling design of this shawl mimics their intricate patterning as well as the movement of the ocean. This is an intermediate pattern with simple lace showcased in various sections throughout the shawl. And once you learn this Lifeline technique that I'm going to show you, you will never fear lace again. Now, you'll notice this shawl has an incredible lightweight feel, very cloud-like, and a beautiful drape and shimmery glow. Yarn choice is key for this pattern if you want to achieve the same type of elegant drapey feel. We opted for our alpaca silk lace yarn for this pattern because it is a blend of super soft and luxurious baby alpaca blended with mulberry silk, which has a gorgeous shine to it. This is a thicker lace than many, almost like a light fingering, so it's quite easy to work with and it has a ton of yardage. We used only 2 skeins to make this shawl, if you can believe it. So you can download this pattern at expressionfiberarts.com, and we will also put the direct link in the description box for you. And while you're there on the site, go ahead and sign up for email updates to be a part of our yarn loving community, and you're gonna get free patterns, coupons, and a whole lot more. So the time has come, dear friend, to learn this miraculous technique called the Lifeline. So what is a lifeline? It is a strand of thread or yarn that you run through your knitting. It is like knitting insurance. So if you mess up at any point in time, you can remove your needles, rip back to your lifeline, pick up your stitches, and keep on knitting again easily. There are several ways that you can work this technique. I'm going to show you a couple, as well as my favorite, which is absolutely effortless. You're going to need to choose some yarn or thread that is the same thickness or smaller than your working yarn, and you want it to be in a contrasting color. That's important. You want to be able to easily see the lifeline should you need to rip back to it. Go ahead and cut it at least twice as long as your row to avoid it getting easily pulled out of the end on accident. So how do you insert your lifeline? Option 1 is to simply thread your lifeline onto a darning needle and thread it through all of your stitches after you've worked them. And that is totally fine. You can definitely use that technique. However, if you have interchangeable needles with little holes in them, you can make your life so much easier by simply threading the yarn through the hole in the needle, and then you'll proceed to knit as usual. As you knit, the lifeline will be carried through the stitches, and when you finish the row, voila, the lifeline is already in place. There's nothing else that you need to do. What if you don't have the needles with the little holes? Another option is you could just simply use some tape to secure the lifeline to your needle and then proceed to knit, and the lifeline would be carried through the row as you knit. Now, if you need to use stitch markers, I like to just leave them on the lifeline. However, if you don't have a lot of stitch markers, a really great tip is to just get some little hairbands like these, and they will be absolutely great. You can leave them on your lifeline as you continue to knit further rows. So how often do you need to insert a lifeline? That is totally up to you. One option is to put a lifeline after every pattern repeat. So let's say you need to rip back. You'll know that you put the lifeline in the final row of the pattern repeat. So when you rip back and put it back on your needles, you can just start with row 1 of the new pattern repeat. Or you could insert them every 10 rows or every 3 inches or whatever makes you feel most comfortable. You can leave them in your work until you've completed it, or you can rip them out as you go when you know you no longer need that lifeline. For example, if you have 3 or 4 lifelines hanging out and you know you don't need those first few you put in, you can just go ahead and pull those out because you won't need them, and it is so satisfying. So there you go. I hope you enjoy this holy grail of knitting techniques. It really is life-changing. Remember today that, like the sea, you are ever evolving and changing, and you are more powerful than others may realize. And deep within you lies a vast, deep-seated passion and truth that, when followed, will lead you to your purpose. Enjoy this day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. You can start this shawl with a, you can start, okay. So you can, sorry. So you, gross. Okay, I got it. We're gonna send you coupon codes, exclusive deals and goodies and stuff, sorry. So what is a lifeline? It is a strand of thread or yarn that you weave through your stitches. Thread, is it okay. If you've got, I'm gonna show you a couple different ways. You can leave them in your work until, including my favorite, which is gonna make something absolutely effortless. Bye-bye.